Hey everybody, I'm going to show you how to replace your inner tie rod rack bushings on a 2000 Chrysler Concorde today. The main complaint is it's got a popping noise coming from underneath the dash when he turns the steering wheel. But by watching this video, I will not be held accountable for any damages or injuries to the vehicle or the person doing the work, and will not accept responsibility for anything that happens. The kit that I'm using today is a Moog Problem Solver kit. It's a K7408 split bushing kit. And here we go. Hey everybody, it's Rich here. I got a 2000 Chrysler Concorde. Complaint is there's a popping and clunking noise coming from the steering. That noise sounds like this. What that is your inner tie rod bushing. I'll show you how to fix that today. I've already taken some stuff off, but basically what this is, there's a 15mm nut right here. You need to unscrew that. To get to that, you'll have to just pop this little cap off with a flathead screwdriver. And then there's T20 Torx that hold it in all the way around. To get the wipers off, you'll sit there and push down, kind of work it, and it'll just come right up. And then there's another 20 Torx back here. Now keep in mind that the Torx that hold these top plates in that are along the back here, there's 3 of them. All 3 of those are longer than all these, and there's 2 on the corner on the outside. And you just should be able to take these right up right here. Set those out of the way. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to remove this whole tray right here. All of this has got to come out of the way. And you'll need a 13mm socket. And there's a lot of stuff you got to take off to get to all this under here, because the part we're actually fixing is underneath here. Be right back. Alright, now that I've got all the bolts out, there's 2 bolts here, 2 bolts here, 1 bolt here, 2 over here, 1 here, and 1 here. And then you should just, there's a hose right here that just pops out of a little clip that's on the bottom of this metal piece. You should just be able to lift that right off. And then what we'll do here, and I'm going to take the camera off here so it might get a little wiggly, is grab some point with. The part that's actually making that clunking noise, I don't know how well y'all can see it, but here's the end of my pick, and you see this is your inner tie rod right here. It comes through, and then there's bushings in here, and these bushings are shot. So you can get a little closer on that. See, I can see the bare metal in there, and the bushing's pushing out. And then I'll be taking this apart. I got to take a few more things apart to get to it. All right, to actually get to where we're trying to get to, which is the rack bushings, you'll need to take these hose clamps loose, pull this hose off. You should be able to just, this little hose right here, you should be able to spin it off right there. You loosen this hose clamp there. This whole piece comes off. Now, I've already loosened all this once. And then this should just pop out like that. This air box. And now I come into a little bit of a dilemma here. I've already got mine loose. But you see this little rubber bushing right here? It should just pop right off like that. Nice and easy. Mine didn't. So what I did is some people may disagree, but this actually worked really well. So I took a long pry bar and wedged it right in there, and make sure it's back here, not hitting the AC hose. And I just took it and pushed down on it, and it pops right up. It's kind of a pain in the ass, to be honest. Then you use, of course, the hose clamp up here is loose, and this just comes right out like that. Then you should be able to see real nice and good what we're trying to get to, which are these two pieces right here, and this is what we're going to be fixing today. There's these rubber bushings right here, and then what I'll do is I'll move this real quick. This one's shot. I don't know if you can see all that bare metal right there, but we're going to get ready to take that off. There's two bolts. Hold it on right there on the front. I don't know if you see that, but there's also little bend down tabs that hold them bolts in and keep them from backing out. Right there. There we go. And what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to bend them tabs up. You can take a screwdriver. You can just take a screwdriver and bend them up, or use a pair of pliers, or whatever works best for you. I like to use a flathead screwdriver though. Alright, I'm back here. I got my tabs bent out. And I lied earlier, I thought this was a 17mm bolt. I've already loosened them. It's actually, I had to use a 22mm and a 1/2 inch ratchet because they were a little too tight. And but they come loose. You can get to them if you come through at this angle right here. Kind of follow that rod, and then after you bend the tabs back, you take your bolts. Don't back them all the way out. Just take them out where they're pretty loose, where there are only a few threads holding them on. That's very important. I'm going to tell you why here in just a minute. Now you can see I've got everything pretty loose here. It's a lock washer with the bend down tabs right there. The bolts are sticking out pretty far. Now see, the reason I tell you not to take them all the way out is because you don't want these to pop off yet. What you're going to want to do, and you can do this at the beginning if you want, I just find it easier to do everything first. And then what you'll do is you want to take the front of your car and jack it up so the front wheels aren't touching the ground, so these don't have pressure on them, and they'll be a lot easier to come off, and set it down on jack stands. But you got to have both front wheels off the ground at the same time, and make sure you chock your tires on the back. Alright, so now that we got the whole tie rod in, everything out, that's how I take it apart. I don't even touch this right here. I leave that alone. But I don't know if you can see, I haven't even touched this thing yet, and that's how shot this thing is. That's not supposed to be moving at all. So what I got here, I got a 36mm socket. Basically anything big enough to set that in. Just set it over it like that. Takes a little bit of some balancing skills there. I'll just take another socket that I know will fit through the middle of that hole. My hammer. Like I said, you might have to have somebody else hold it for you. This is kind of a balancing act here. But another socket here. And then obviously right there, And there you go. Like I said before, you're going to want to put a little bit of grease in here. But you see there's a little line. I don't know if y'all can see that. There's a little groove right there. And that groove ain't supposed to be there. But it's not real deep. I can barely feel it with my fingernails. But just put your little grease on the inside here. Just a thin layer right inside there. And then you'll take your new bushings. I haven't greased them or anything yet. I'm just going to do this for an example here. Just take your new bushings, pop that in there, pop it in there like that. Good to go. Of course, you want to put grease anywhere where it contacts with metal, and it doesn't ever hurt to put a little bit of grease right in there. And then all you got to do is put her back together and make sure you don't over tighten these, and make sure you bend the safety tabs down on the new washer. Then always make sure you put the cotter pins in, even if it's not a capsule nut, no matter what. And then don't break these loose right here. Just leave them alone. That's it. Have a good evening.